Hey there everyone, Atesh here, back again with another video, and in this video I will walk you through that how to install Mongodb into your Mac system. Before we go ahead and do that, a little bit of the context. So I was working on this live streaming of my JavaScript series and my laptop couldn't actually take this much of the toll of streaming the 4K videos, so it didn't work out. So I moved into a different, more powerful machine, the Mac Studio, and it's a fresh machine. And I was installing a lot of softwares and a lot of databases onto this so that I can work on it as a daily driver. And this made me realize that there are a lot of people out there these people are facing a lot of issues in installing these softwares and databases. So I wanted to help out. And in these kinds of series of videos, I'll walk you through with the installation of a whole lot of softwares because the installation process has changed quite a lot. So hence this video is out there, and there will be many more others in the installation. If you have any specific requirement to learn the installation process of something or you're facing some issues, let me know in the comments. I'll work out with that. Coming back onto the part, let's go ahead and learn that how we can install Mongodb onto a new Mac system, especially on 2022. So let's go ahead and work on with that. The first thing is you need actually Brew to install. And why do you need Brew and how to set up Brew properly? That is going to also be a part of this one. So first, let's finish up that why do you need a Brew, and let's first configure and install that. Installing a Brew is not that easy. It used to be, but it's not anymore. So all you got to do is first copy this line from brew.sh and just run it onto a terminal. The mine is already there, so it's not going to install anything further. You just have to copy paste and run this. But this is not going to give you a Brew itself. Now, in order to have the Brew, this is not all you have to do. You have to do one more step for that. So for that, what you have to do is first find out a file. So there is a file into your system, which is a hidden file. So if you do an ls, first make sure you are into a correct directory. So just hit cd and hit enter. So you will be in the correct directory. And then do a quick ls and you won't be finding that file. All you have to do is ls-la, which gives you a long listing and also gives you all the files which are hidden, .directories. So now you can see there are a lot of files, and what we are interested in is this .zshrc. So Mac recently updated their shell. It's not bash anymore. So all the documentation you're referring shouldn't be based on bash shell itself. Now in my .zshrc shell, you're going to find it's a little bit different. So let me cat out that. So zshrc, if you go ahead and see that there is a new line added up here. This line is responsible for getting your Brew up and running and having a command line terminal ready for that. How to add that? So all you got to do is note down this command properly, write it somewhere, copy it, and then go ahead and open it up vim and .zshrc. If file is not there, it's going to create it there, but usually it is there. Just open it up, press I to get into insert mode of vim, or if you want to use nano or any other editor, that's fine. Just write this command entirely. Make sure you press I. That is very important to get you into insert mode. Then press escape, :WQ for write and quit, and hit enter. Now you have to reload the shell. You can do two things, either quit the terminal, restart it, that's going to do the job, or you can just run this simple command that says simple source, and then this also kind of re-put your shell so that all the new commands and new tools are available to you. That's all you gotta do. Now, why do you need Brew to actually install Mongodb? Technically, you don't need. Let me walk you through what happens with that. So you go ahead and look for Mongodb. You go onto this website, and that looks good. Fantastic website, great colors, and I'm looking for some products. I'm looking for a database. And you go into the database, and it says database deploy on multi-cloud. Fantastic, fantastic, all great information. But where should I download? Okay, this is CLI access. We have hash Terraform, CloudFormation. Great. But where should I download this? This is a bit of a problematic. Try for free. Is it going to give me something? Nah, asking for an account. You get the idea that how problematic this is. So what do you have to do in this case? Obviously, you'll go for Mongodb download. Maybe you're on Windows or Mac, wherever you are, you'll be looking for links like that. So I'll go into into Community Edition. Obviously, you look for your version, maybe Windows. Windows is easier. It gives you Microsoft Installer, MSI. Click next, I agree, works majority of the time. In Mac, it's a little difficult. It gives you a tar gzip file, a little bit difficult to manage on its own. So we won't be using this path of installation. This is not ideal. So we'll be going back and we'll be installing it through the Brew itself. Now make sure before you go ahead and work on with that, make sure you have Brew installed properly and Xcode tools are installed. You don't need to install Xcode, but you have to install Xcode tools. And these are, let me write that, Xcode-select, and go ahead and say I want to install them. So --install. Once you have this one, it says, hey, these are already installed. So don't worry about the error. It says just, hey, everything is already installed and all good. Now to install MongoDB, we need to first tap into the MongoDB. So how does the Brew works? Brew doesn't know everything and all the packages available in the world. So just go ahead and say, hey, you can tap into any of the other resources. In my case, this is MongoDB. And then I have to simply say Brew. Once you do this, this is going to update itself that, hey, now I am aware about one more resource, which is MongoDB. This takes just a small time. Okay, now all good. Now we can go ahead and say, hey, Brew, you can now go ahead and install MongoDB for me. So we're going to say MongoDB-community. And then we want to install the latest version, obviously. So 5.0, in case the later one is available or something you want to tap in, just go ahead and do that. Once I go ahead and enter this one, this is going to take some time and will install a MongoDB server, MongoDB shell, a couple of other things as well. Okay, took some time, but the MongoDB is properly installed. Now, this is not going to give you an immediate access of, hey, you can use MongoDB. All you have to do is a little bit start the service of MongoDB. It's a server, it offers services. Let's get started with the services of MongoDB. So all we have to do now is say, hey, Brew, you have services. And from that, I want to start a special service, which is MongoDB-community. And my community version is 5.0 or 5.0, not O. Okay, so if you go ahead and enter that, this is going to start MongoDB. And you should be having MongoDB up and running. So this is now successfully started and it is up and running. Now, similarly, to stop this service, all you got to do is same command and you have to stop this. So stop, and the MongoDB services will be stopping up. Now, obviously, whenever you need to use MongoDB, you have to run this command to install or to start this one, not install, to start the service before you just run the Mongo command itself. But obviously, you don't want to do this again and again. You want to keep it up and running. So for that, all you got to do is you have to go for MongoD and then say --config. And then after that, you can go for /opt/homebrew. And then we have a folder name etc. And then we have mongoconf. And then you have to pass on a flag that says fork. That's it. Yes, that's a command you have to. You don't need to remember. You can write it down. And then it just parent exits. And that means the command is up and running. Now, all you got to do after this service is going to be running in behind the scene itself. So you can go ahead anytime and can install a simple Mongo sh. So this is going to give you a Mongo shell. And there we go. So we have all the Mongo shells up here and you can run all the commands like show DBs and it gives you all the DBs. So if you know MongoDB, obviously from here, I think you can take forward. If there is any services or any of your node application which is looking forward to have the MongoDB on the local host, you can go ahead and you use that. You can also on top of this install Studio 3T, which is, let me show you that also. There is a nice tool from MongoDB. So we're going to say MongoDB Studio 3T. That's a pretty cool service itself. And there we go, Studio 3T. So this is a tool that you can use to get this one and get connected all of this. Yes, I accept. So you can download the free version of Studio 3T and can have a local connection as well. But again, I know there might be a favorite tool of your own as well. Let me know in the comment section which is your favorite tool to connect with MongoDB database. And I'll probably install that and make a video of that as well. Let's catch up in the next video.